So good morning, everyone. My name is Lisa Long. I'm the Customer Service and Account Manager at Iowa Land Records. I am going to talk about e-submission and then spend a lot of time on demo today. So e-submission, still the traditional preparation of real estate documents. The document formatting standards are still required with black and white images, 300 DPI, portrait orientation for all documents except for surveys. Those can be submitted in landscape orientation. And you do have to adhere to Iowa's document formatting standards, which is the 3-inch margin and the margins on the side and the font size. And if you Google Iowa formatting standards, you can find that information, and we also have that posted on our website. There is a trusted business relationship between you as the submitter and the recorder that you are submitting a legal document. Login and file transmission is secure. Payment is made electronically after the document is recorded. You're never charged when the document is submitted. And images of recorded documents are returned. You won't expect to receive one in the mail or to pick one up from the county recorder's office. Here's all the great benefits, the fast delivery. It's as quick as submitting it if you could by emailing it over to the recorder. After submission, recorders have 24 hours or a full business day to review and act on those documents. I think in this time of COVID, we need to provide a little bit of extra grace because the counties have been affected by the virus and at times have been running a little shorthanded. But in general, everybody is on top of it and getting all documents recorded in 24 hours or less. And it's a much higher volume right now because of COVID. More people are using electronic submission, and we've got a lot of refinancing going on. So fast error correction. So imagine that you have submitted a document that there's a problem. The recorder sends that back to you, and imagine that you were doing that all electronically through email. That's about how quick it is once you get the correction made. I like the security of e-submission because documents remain in your office. Fast return of recorded documents. Again, you're not waiting for them to come back through the mail. Lower cost to value proposition. Everything can be done from your desk 24/7 on any computer with internet access. So if you're working Saturday morning, Sunday afternoon, you can absolutely submit documents and they will be waiting for the recorder on the next business day. There is a transaction tracking mechanism within e-submission that allows you to follow the progress of your document. Here's all the legal. Here's all the really fun way that e-submission has increased over the years. We started in 2008. I believe the first document was actually filed in 2005, December of 2005, Allamakee County, and that date is coming up, so we'll have 15 years, so we'll have to have a little celebration about that. Volume has increased considerably over time. Last year, 45% of all documents recorded in Iowa were recorded electronically, and we believe that number will be closer to 50% this year. Payment is made electronically either through ACH or EFT, so money is withdrawn from your bank account after recording is complete. If you use ACH or EFT, what you will see is a batch charge. So if you recorded 10 documents today and the total was $750, that's the charge you'll see on your bank statement. And then you can generate a report so that you can break down those charges. If you use a credit or debit card, you will see a transaction on your statement for each document that was recorded. If you start with one payment method and wish to switch to another one, we'd be happy to help you make that change. Payments made electronically on the day of recording, not at the time of submission. A payment method and the account information is set up and maintained by an admin on your account. So it's someone within your organization. We do not ask you to personally provide us with account information. You enter that information and it's stored, and we do not have access to it. The payment information is stored, so you don't have to enter it for each submission. The service fee does vary by payment type. So ACH, EFT, each document, with the exception of a declaration of value and a groundwater hazard statement, has a $3 charge on it. In addition to the regular recording fees, there are no e-submissions. There's no $3 fee on declaration of value or groundwater hazard statements. If you use a credit card, there is an additional fee of 0.01865% times the total transaction amount before the $3 fee. That's the merchant processing fee. That's what we're charged, and we are not making any income on that. It's being passed on to you as the submitter, and it is included in the total fees that are stamped on the document. You may have unlimited users on your account. The admin on your account, so someone within your organization, is able to add users. They can delete users. We caution you about deleting users until you take steps to make sure that each document or group that has been submitted is either declined, recorded, or deleted. So we would encourage you to not take any steps to delete someone from your account until you've reviewed all documents and made sure they are recorded. So backing up, you may have unlimited users of either type, either an admin who can update payment information, who can add users, delete users, and who has access to reports for reconciliation, as well as the ability to submit documents for recording. And then the other type of user is an e-submitter who has the ability to submit documents for recording but does not have access to reports, can't add additional users. If you create a username as one type, either an admin or a submitter, and wish to update that later to another user type within the account, absolutely fine. You may also have multiple accounts for your organization. So as an example, you have multiple locations of your bank, and you want each bank or each location's money charges to come out of their bank account. We would set up a separate account in e-submission for that location. You might be a law firm where each attorney uses their own credit card for expenses, and we would set up a separate account for them with their payment information attached. We encourage everyone to use the short form for submission of groups for recording, and what you would need to do is from the menu, select Update Account, and then in the Preferences section, which is in the middle of the screen, there's a drop-down menu. Just make sure to select Show Short Form by default, and then save at the bottom. And the short form is what I will demo in a couple minutes. We'll be there. I'll show you how to track documents in e-submission. We'll do that in a demo, and we'll talk about recently recorded documents. Okay, so this is our staging environment. Production currently looks much like this. Need to let you know that our developers are working on a new interface for submitters. We'll probably see that released spring, summer of 2021, and in conjunction with that, we'll be doing a seminar series about 60 counties where members of our team will get out and do a hi, how are you? Let us show you how this new interface works. So it's pretty exciting. It has a totally different look, and the process will be even simpler than this. So first thing is log in, username and password. Everyone has one. Everything is unique to you as a user. So you're all in, and let's go here to update account. I talked about this previously, so every user needs to do this. update account, and then right here in this drop down, make sure it says show short form by default, and then select save, and you'll see the green message up here that it was submitted. That's here if you need to calculate transfer tax. This is a tool for you. You will see when I do the demo that the tax is automatically calculated when a transfer value is entered. So when the real estate value is entered, it's there. It calculates automatically. Search, we'll do that after we submit so you can see how that works. Recently recorded, this is a great place to come and find the documents of yours that have been recorded. This is our staging environment, so we have removed all of those. We cleared them out. Tutorials on the production site. There are some really good tutorials that walk you through everything. We also have a great training guide that can walk you through things. And again, myself or any member of our team would be happy to walk you through a submission process or a resubmission process if you need to correct something. So maintain eSubmitter. This is where you can update the information on your account. Adding and maintain users is here. Maintaining your payment account. View your account history, so you can see here this is where we had updated payment information. And then finally, view history. This is probably one of my favorite parts of eSubmission. This is a great report to use for reconciliation. Only admins on your account would have access to this. So from the home screen, you're selecting Home, Maintain eSubmitter, and then View History. Don't select View Reports. Those generate overnight. And then you would select the dates that you want the report. And I'm going to use all of this year because we haven't done very much this year or recently. So here's your report. You can export that to Excel, and then you can use that for reconciliation. You can see the group name, how it was submitted, the document type, the county, and who submitted it. You've got that information. Okay, on to the good stuff, which is the demonstration. First step is select Add Group. The group is the container that's going to get these documents to the recorder. It's kind of like addressing an envelope to get it over to them. So I'm going to name the group and select the county. The group name can be anything that you want it to be. It's a tool to help you locate the group later. It could be an address. It could be a client's file number. It could be a client's name. It could be a location, whatever works for you. Okay, and then create. So now we've got this empty container to get these documents submitted to the recorder. Status in progress indicates it has not been submitted. So keep that in mind. In progress indicates the group has not been submitted. You can see it was created by what county it's going to, and the submission date is blank, and then the county. You can still change the county if you want to. Next step, add the document. So select the document type from the drop-down. We have both deed and warranty deed in here, and you can use those interchangeably. Number of parcels is 1 on all conveyance documents. This defaults to 1, so you're always charged the $5 auditor transfer fee. You can increase that number to any number you like, but the most you would ever be charged is $50, and that's by law, that you can only be charged for 10. Real estate value, this is entered without punctuation. So 50,000 is 5 followed by 4 zeros. Then the name of the person on the document, and I'm entering John Smith as the grantee. So John is the person that is receiving this property. The property is being conveyed to him. And then choose the file. That you have scanned, saved to your device. And so it's always black and white, portrait orientation, and 300 DPI, and then save. Katie, an email just popped up that someone was having trouble getting in. Okay, so we've still got in progress. Standard fee is $7. This is calculated on the number of pages that were scanned in. $5 for the transfer fee. The transfer tax on $500,000 and the $3 e-submission fee. These are total fees. Everything looks good. You have a couple decisions down here. More documents, yes or no. Same party, yes or no, and submit. Then when you've said yes to same party, the names are filled in, but you can update those if you want to. So you wanted to use Mary instead of John. And then the next document in this group will be a declaration of value, and choose the file and save. Easy peasy. One more time, yes to more documents, and yes, same party name. I'll select the groundwater now and attach the file. Use other and save. So I'm going to attach two more documents to this group. I'm going to include the mortgage. If you are submitting a package of documents, or you have a package to submit of a deed, a deck, a groundwater, and a mortgage, I am encouraging you to submit those as one group. And here's why. If you submit the deed, the deck, and the groundwater as one group, and the mortgage as a separate group, and one of the documents in the first package is declined and the mortgage is recorded, the mortgage will be recorded ahead of the deed, and you would need to incur additional recording charges to re-record that mortgage after the deed is recorded. So keep that in mind. Submit them all together if you possibly can, or wait for the deed to be recorded and then submit the mortgage. Okay, and save. And one more. And I'm going to submit a power of attorney with this group. So, save. And then here, all of the fees calculated, standard fee based on the number of pages in the document and the service fee. No more documents, and submit. So got this group, everything's ready to go. Still Adair County, you can still change it. You can change it until the last minute, right before you submit it. And if one of the recorders comes back and says, hey, you know, really this isn't Adams, Adair County, it's Adams, you grabbed the wrong one, so they decline the document, you can update that. So you may review the information that was entered. This is what the long form looks like. In the new interface, this will look different. So you can see you entered a deed, the number of parcels, the value, save, the parties that you entered. Only one is required, and we're not looking at any of this other information. And let's see, oops, I got kicked out by looking at that. You will not get kicked out in production. So we've got this right down here in progress. So the reason I added the power of attorney here is I wanted to show you what you can do. If you submitted these in the wrong order and you wanted the power of attorney to be the first document recorded, you would use the arrows to put it to the top, and then this is the order it would appear to the recorder. If you are happy with everything here, last step, always remember submit group. And there, you've got a message up here that it was submitted successfully. So at this point, the recorder would have received email notification that the document is out there and ready for their review. And so they log into an interface, they review each document, approve or decline based on the information in the document, and then it would come back to you. So does anybody have any questions before we go on to the next part of this? Okay, back to the demo. I've added a couple more documents down here so that you can see some things. In progress means you didn't submit it, always the last step. And so at this point, we could add more documents here. We can submit the group. I want to show you a couple things or just talk through a couple things. I get this question frequently. Affidavit of transfer is a document that is conveying property. It's going from A to B or A and B to A or B. So, or it could potentially be going to C. We see this a lot with affidavit of surviving spouse. A and B own the property. One of them is deceased. This document conveys property to the surviving spouse. So that's affidavit of transfer. There is usually no real estate value on this, but you are charged a $5 auditor fee so the auditor can update their documentation. Affidavit of non-transfer is a statement of fact. One example would be John Smith lives in our townhome association and his dues are current, and so that would allow him to sell his property, something like that. If you ever have a question with that, if you let me know, I can be happy to walk you through that. So last step, submit group. See, again, group webinar in progress was submitted successfully. Okay, fee change. So you receive, you submitted a group, you receive an email back. It will come from ILR support, so look for that information that the fee was changed on a document that you submitted. So you would see that group displayed at the bottom of your screen. The groups down here always need your attention. Select the pencil icon on the left to edit, and then we're going to look at both of these. Select the pencil to edit this one. On the History tab, you'll find the information of what happened. So the fee went from 10 to 17. That information would also be included in the email notification you received that the fees had changed. So on this one, there was an additional transaction. Here's where an additional transaction works on a mortgage release. You have a first and second mortgage on your house, and maybe you refi both of those into one mortgage. The bank releases both of the initial mortgages, both the first and the second, to go into your new, what I'm going to call it, your new first. That's where it comes in because they put them both on one document instead of submitting two documents. So that's where additional transactions comes in. If you're in agreement with the changes, select review and select resubmit and then submit. Same on the assignment. History tab and the email you received has the information on the fees changed. Again, this one went from 10 to 17. An assignment, we often see many agreements being assigned at one time. So select review, resubmit, and submit. And you can still add another document if you want to here, and then submit group. A couple things to remember about submitting groups. One is they all have to go to the same county, but they don't have to be for the same parties. As an example, you could submit many releases for different people. So you've got one for Smith, Jones, Miller, Browns. You've got them all on separate documents. That could be a group that you title this county. So we'll use Calhoun County since Kathy's joining us today. Calhoun releases and today's date. And then you could submit all of those as one group. But keep in mind that if you submit those and one gets declined, all of the documents will come back to you. So nothing in a group will be recorded until everything is ready to be recorded and you make that correction. So documents in a group all have to go to the same county, but they don't need to be for the same person or same group of people. Okay, documents that are declined. So you submit something, the recorder notices a problem. Select the pencil to edit, select the pencil to edit the document. The history tab and the email you received includes the information on what needs to be corrected on this one. When the recorder selects recorder declined, they also select a reason from a drop-down menu and are required to enter a comment. It could be as simple as please call us if they have things they want to discuss, the questions they may have. Okay, so what your step would be to do, they asked you this to be rescanned in black and white. Select attach document, find the new document. I'm grabbing one here. Select save, and then review, resubmit, and submit, and then one more. Same thing, check the history tab or the email. The notary stamp was missing. Correct the document, select attach document, find the new document, save, review, resubmit, and then submit. And then remember, submit group is always the last step. Okay, searching for documents, let's talk about that. So you've submitted those documents and you wish to determine where they are. So select search over here, and then we'll go by the submission date. You can add as many criteria as you like. I'm going to use everything that was submitted this week. So there's all the documents that you've submitted this week. They're all in ready for recorder status in Adair County. If we go back farther, back to November 1st, there's a few more. Let's go back even farther. So most recent are at the top. We can go down here. So we can talk about some of these statuses. So county index paid, document has been recorded, and you can open the image and download that to your system. Ready for download, that indicates the recorder has approved it. It's getting ready to index it. You should have recorded documents fairly soon. After ready for download, it goes to downloaded, ready for stamp, stamped, and then county index paid when you would be notified that it had been recorded. And that's at the point that your account would be charged if you're using a credit card. If you are using a bank account, we bundle those charges and charge that at the end of the day. So I don't think we have anything in downloaded here. Okay. You could add additional information, an additional county. Let's see what's out here in Adams and Alameda. So there's some that have been submitted to both counties that you can see they're in ready for recorder status. You could add a first name. So we can, if you want to figure out who on your team has submitted documents and what they're waiting for. So here's all the documents that Ida has submitted. So, and then recently recorded, when a document has been recorded, you can come here. And again, this is our staging environment, so we took everything out of there. Most recent documents would be at the top. Couple more things. If you submit something to a county and you realize it's wrong, it's the wrong county, it was too early to submit it, any number of things, please do not contact me or our office. Call the recorder's office, ask to speak to whoever's working on a submission, ask them to decline the document. If you discover it at the end of the day, I would find their email address from their website. You can copy us and we'll work with the counties the next morning to make sure that is stopped. But I encourage you to work with the county directly if something has been submitted in error. If a document is recorded in error, our office cannot remove those charges and cannot remove that document from the county's records. That is all up to the county. So make sure you're submitting documents to the correct county. And if you make a mistake, contact them directly. I have one more. Okay, so you are submitting a document like a quitclaim deed or a deed in fulfillment of a contract. So there's no declaration of value or a groundwater. So exempt, right? And select the county. We'll name this exempt and select the county. Add the document, and then down here, so this is let's say this is a deed in fulfillment of the contract. We're entering the real estate value because tax is usually paid at the time the property is conveyed, not at the time of the contract. It's not out of the question that it could have been escrowed, but usually it's paid at the time of the contract is fulfilled. So the deck and the groundwater were filed with the contract, so you need to enter these exemptions down here. Let me show you what happens if you don't, and then I'll go back and correct it. And we'll use our friends John and Mary. So there, no more documents. That's all you've got. This system tells you that a deck and a groundwater are required. It's a business rule that's in place. So to correct that, down here, we're entering the deed and fulfillment of the contract and then saving, and then review, update, and submit group. So then it will allow you to submit. Do not be afraid to ask for help. We're working remotely most of the time. If you email support, I'll get back to you quickly. If you leave a phone number, I check email several times a day and I can call you, but we are working remotely most of the time. So we do want to provide good customer service. If I'm not available, Katie is often my backup, and Phil Dunshee, who's our project manager, he is terrific at e-submission. He's been here since the inception of the project in 2003. So we're a small but mighty team of the three of us, someone who works with Katie, and then 3 developers. In closing, I'm always available to help. If you have questions after this webinar, shoot me an email and I'll get back to you. If you're new to e-submission, I would be happy to walk you or any member of your team through the submission of their first documents or groups, and we'd be happy to offer this webinar to you or your team at another time if today wasn't a good time for everyone. If you're thinking about joining e-submission and you haven't submitted an application, get an application over to us. I do my best to get applications and accounts set up within a couple days, and that will be followed by an email with login instructions, information on how to enter your payment information, and to make sure that you update your username to the short form. Each user does need to make that update. So, thanks everybody for joining us today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and please contact us if we can help. Thank you.